Well, so far mixing the soil has been the toughest part. I've mixed two different kinds of bags that I have. One is the Fox Farm and another one is the Miracle Grow bag. The Fox Farm I find to be really dry, and not dry, it's like very crunchy. It's got very large, let me get the dry stuff. It's a lot more perlite heavy, I guess is what I meant to say. It's a lot more perlite heavy, which is good for the context that I'm using, because I want this to drain well, because we will still get quite a bit of moisture here in the Northeast before spring and summer really ramps up. Whereas the garden soil, I picked it up recently and they didn't have much of an option, so I picked up the cheapest. This was the cheapest, and it has no perlite, or very little, at least not in the handful I grabbed here. Hardly any perlite. Yeah, I don't know what's in this other than rocks and whatnot. So I mixed those two. The Fox Farm one I had in the garage, it was dry, whereas the Miracle Grow one was outdoors getting moist. So mixing them together, should give me a pretty decently moist medium here. And now it's time to fill up. I do give a healthy 3 inches at least, because the plants tend to end up having to stay in here for a bit because of time constraints, other more important things going on. So I end up leaving plants in here longer than maybe they need to be. And some plants, like technically your perennial flowers, don't need that much soil because they take so long to grow. So they never get to the bottom. But your cold hardy veggies, they develop really good root systems, so they need that good 3 inches at least. So today I only have about a dozen of these containers prepped. So I'm gonna just pick and choose which plants I'm gonna put in. I'm probably gonna mainly put in perennial flowers because they do need the longest amount of time growing. Now granted, all my seeds that I plan on winter sowing have been in the fridge for a few weeks now, so it's not like they're coming out of some cushy situation and then being shocked by the cold they're about to get. So this is still going to be super warm environment for them once they get out of the fridge. Alright, I have 13 containers and I've narrowed it down to 13 plants, and I am going to, yes, only do flowers this round. I have lavender hyssop, bells of Ireland, bee balm, alyssum or basket of gold, columbine, delphinium, marshmallow, Joe Pye weed, and I'll put both of these seeds in one, a milkweed. We have cleome, yarrow, and then I have to figure out how to separate, or how many of these sweet peas to put in. I have 2 containers allotted, so I'll just mix them up in there. So very important to have some kind of marking. I use a garden marker, which is very good for UV not deteriorating in the sun. Some people also mark the container, but I found that just these will do the trick. I hope that stays true this year as well. And then also, I am not going to be wrapping tape around like is common practice. Usually I can get away with just tucking in the plastic into itself, or there's enough snow that piles on top of it that keeps it closed, and I'm happy with that. I do need to secure this from the dog though, so that's another project for another day. Today, I just want to get the seeds on the soil, moisten it. So slightly larger seeds, I'm definitely going to cover with more soil, versus super dusty seeds are just going to be surface sowed, because those need light to germinate more so than the bigger seeds. Now, any other day I would go out and collect some snow and use that to water, but I don't really feel like wrestling with the dog right now. So I'm taking just tap water or well water. All done. This is about a third of the jugs I was planning on doing, so slow and steady. This will not be its final resting place. It is currently under a covered porch, so I still have to set up yonder with a fence so that the dog can't get to them. And that should be today, because it's a beautiful day.